Tinanam. Today I would love to share with you a little bit about will persistence and inner awakening. I know this is a common question for a lot of people who have intended or have the wish to come to inner awakening. And this is something I was sharing casually with one of my Guru Behens, one of my sister disciples, about will persistence is basically what made my inner awakening happen. What made inner awakening happen in my life was just that one thing, will persistence. I remember I have intended to participate in the inner awakening for several years. Since 2010, the seed was planted in me, and it was not until 2012 that I actually made it happen. You might ask yourself how it come to so long time. Actually, in between, I had the opportunity to do as many programs with Swamiji. Any program he conducted, I was there. But somehow, inner awakening was not yet happening for me. I remember I asked Swamiji in one of the Pada Pujas. I had made an online Pada Puja. At that time, we had the opportunity to offer Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is a beautiful ceremony of devotion and gratitude at the feet of the Master. And back then, I was staying with my Purvashram brother, my pre-monastic brother, in Boulder, Colorado. And from there, I decided to gift him the gift of Pada Puja, and the whole family was there. I asked Swamiji one thing. I said, Swamiji, I really want to make it to inner awakening. Please make it happen. Please make it happen. Sincerely, I just asked him for this boon. Swamiji, the way he answered, he so strongly let me know. He said, Tataastu, you'll be able to make it. Blessings. But that was not just words for me. In my inner space, I knew clearly he's going to make it happen. That's all. I had the reassurance that he's with me. I have his shoulder. So no matter what comes, I'm going. So I started to plan my life around that. Buying my clothes for inner awakening, looking for flights for my inner awakening, getting my visa ready for inner awakening, and planning for Kailash also. I was buying my clothes for Kailash, training my body for Kailash, going to the gym. I started doing kickboxing. I was basically planning my whole life only to come to inner awakening and for Kailash. This was in 2012. It was, of course, at that moment in my life where so many things were becoming more and more clear in terms of my purpose of life, in terms of what is it that I want to do for the rest of my life. And I was finding myself again and again in a very difficult situation, kind of in a crossroad where I have to decide whether I stay in Maya Matrix or I keep building my path towards the unknown, which is my life with Swamiji. And it was completely unknown at that moment. I had no idea how I'm going to be with him. I didn't know much about the path of sannyas. There was no opening of sannyas at that moment. This was in 2012. It was completely unknown. And I was constantly being confronted between these two situations. It was not easy. I had so many obstacles coming my way. Some pressure from family and society to root myself and establish myself in some career, continue my studies, my postgraduate degrees, and finding more and more roots in the Maya Matrix, what we call that now. And somehow I was not able to commit because I knew my life, I had to come to Swamiji. And I knew that even if I'm supposed to come back to Maya Matrix, before I make any decision, inner awakening was a priority for me. So I kept putting my whole for that. Even a new job, even resistance to buy a new car. I mean, so many obstacles were presented my way. But I only saw one thing again and again, which was Swamiji was with me. And not only he just blessed me at that moment, he was literally holding me, letting me know he's with me again and again. Every time I chose my trust to Swamiji that I'm going to IA, instead of trusting what whole my logic, society, and reality at that time was presented to me, I was again choosing, no, I'm going to IA. And every time I made that decision, every time I just hung on to his words, in the complete unknown, there was not even a base for me to walk on. There was not even a road for me to walk in the direction of IA. With his word, I was able to persist. The will persistence. The will persistence again and again had to be a choice and a decision that I made. Even in the most uncomfortable situations, even in the unknown situations, even when I was confronted by my whole family asking me, what are you doing with your life? Basically, they all gathered into a meeting and they asked me, what are you doing with your life? You have to do all of this. This is you're supposed to. You're not doing any of this. Where are you heading? I had no idea how to describe it. All I know is that I'm heading towards my life. I know Inner Awakening was my life, and because Swamiji blessed me, I know I'll be there, and I had no way to explain it to them. But I chose for will persistence. There was one incident that my Purvashram mother remembers very clearly. I had bought a flight ticket to come to India. I still didn't have all the money. I was having a full-time job, and I remember that day I didn't tell even my work or anything. I had bought a flight ticket to make it to one of the Inner Awakenings. At that moment, it was almost time to go. I said, I have to make it. I'm almost there. I still don't have the full amount, but I'm anyways going. I'm anyways going because Swamiji blessed me, I'm going. So I was ready to go. I had my bags packed. I had everything ready to go to the Inner Awakening. I called my Purvashram mom at that time, and I asked her, please drop whatever you're doing. I'm going to the airport now. My flight is in a few hours. I have to go. She was in shock. She thought I was a little bit gone. My mind, she thought it was gone. But I was so intense. I was so sincere about it. She had no choice. She left everything. She was in the middle of her things, and she just came just because of the intensity I had. She doesn't even know why she's doing what she's doing, but she just came for me and picked me up and was driving me to the airport and saying, I don't know how I'm doing this, but she still did it. So on the way to the airport, we arrived to the airport. When I'm in the counter to the airport, I realized that I was in the wrong airport. My flight was leaving from Miami airport, and I went to the Fort Lauderdale airport, and it was about to go. But the moment I ran to the counter and I was ready, and I had my bag had a little bit overweight, so I had to take some things out and everything. I was rushing. By the time I realized I didn't have time to go to the right airport. That's the moment where I just had two chances. One is basically collapse, or the other one was just look in. I just decided to look in, and I just thought, Swamiji, I'm just ready to go there and be with you. I'm doing everything from my side possible. Absolutely everything. Every morning I was brushing my teeth thinking I'm going to IA. I was going to work knowing that I'm coming to IA. Every kick I did in my kickboxing class, I was thinking I'm going to IA. Every breath I was taking was thinking I'm going to IA. So at that moment, I just said, Swamiji, I have done everything from my side. You take care now. With that clarity, knowing that he was there for me, I come back to the car. My Purvashram mom was there in the car. She was in shock, and she started to have tears in her eyes. This is something she still cries when she remembers. She was just surprised that how something in me didn't collapse. She was in shock about that because she knew the importance. My whole life is this. She was able to see that my whole life is just coming to IA. And even this didn't break me. I missed the flight, I missed the IA, and I'm staying back. How that situation happened. Something inside of me knew, okay, it is not time yet. Swamiji let me know. Basically, I felt it is not the time right now. I had to wait a little bit longer. That was so difficult for me because it was getting more and more difficult to live in society, trying to fake that I'm, engaged in all of these things that are not longer interest for me at all. I'm just waiting to be with Swamiji. It's like a suffocation to be with Swamiji. That's how it was for me. So even in that moment of I have to wait for the next IA, I have to wait. It is not the time right now. Even at that moment, I just surrendered everything at Swamiji's feet, and he lifted me up. I felt completely his presence. I felt completely his energy. And it's only by his grace that I was able to will persistence continue. I kept on persisting. I hung on. I kept on going with life, constantly thinking of Swamiji. The money started happening. Everything started aligning. and perfectly again and again. Many more challenges I had to face. So many challenges I had to face. But at the end, what happened is he was there for me. He basically, in his non-physical form, constantly living with me. Every decision, I know he was there. Every action, I know he was there. He basically gave me the opportunity to taste will persistence. Because if it wasn't for Swamiji, I probably would have given up at least 10,000 times before I made it to IA. So, I would recommend all of you who are watching this video, if your intention is to come to IA and somehow you haven't made it yet, no matter how long it's been, whether it's been years or just a few days that you decided to come, just decide. Get Swamiji's blessings. See, first of all, if your interest is there, means he's calling you. Means you are already, he's waiting for you to experience your inner awakening. So decide to hang on to the will persistence and hang on to Swamiji's blessings. Hang on to his words that he will make it happen for you. He will. He does. He'll let you know. Just the inner awakening intention is the preparation for IA. I can say that after the will persistence, after everything I went through, inner awakening became a celebration. It was simply the most incredible celebration of Janmas. I know I waited so many lifetimes for my inner awakening to happen, and it was worth every second of my wait. It was worth every obstacle I faced, because it made me strong, it made me open, it made me ready to receive and appreciate every second of being in the presence of the Master. Every glance, every look, every energy darshan, everything was too much. I felt so fulfilled. I literally felt my life, I'm so fulfilled. Whatever happens from this moment onwards, it will be a plus in my life. I have achieved, I have found him, I have experienced him. I have experienced the inner awakening. I was just extreme bliss. So for all of you who are intended to come to IA, please remember this one story, this one thing. Will persistence is the key to success. Hang on to Swamiji. He's there for you. He'll be there for you every moment, every step of the way, preparing you and making you ready to receive the inner awakening. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment box below. Stay tuned for more sessions. Nityanandam.